Alright. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises to Yahawah, Bahashem, YAHAWASHI, Bahashem, Rikar HaKodash, and double honors to the elder apostle GMS who rule well. Salute you brothers pushing this word and truth, sincerity, and strength and power. YAHAWASHI, right? We are here to gather the elect of the 12 tribes of Israel, which consists of the Negro, Latinos, and Native American. And I've been watching videos, brothers' videos, right? And you know, you got brothers, you got Jake lying about how long they've been in the truth, right? When they first come in. So I'm gonna explain, since brothers are lying and brothers is, you know, doing that, and brothers is explaining how long they've been in the truth. Well, I'm gonna explain how long I've been in the truth. Okay? But we're gonna read Matthew's. We're gonna read Matthew's, the 22nd chapter, right? And we're gonna start out there, and I'm gonna let the brother read in, and I'm gonna explain, you know, during this chapter, right? Go ahead, Doc.
All right. This is Matthew's chapter 22, verse 1. And Yahawashi answered and spake unto them again by parables, and said, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a certain king, which made a marriage for his son, and sent forth his servant to call them that were bidden to the wedding, and they would not come. Again, he sent forth other servants, saying, tell them which are bidden, behold, I have prepared my dinner, my ox and my fatlings are killed,
right,
and all things are ready.
Right.
Come unto the marriage.
Right. Go ahead.
But they made light of it and went their ways, one of his farms, another to his merchandise, and the remnant took his servants and entreated them spitefully and slew them.
Go ahead.
But when the king heard thereof, he was wroth, and he sent forth his armies and destroyed those murderers, and burned up their city.
Go ahead.
Then said he to his servants, the wedding is ready, but they which were bidden were not worthy.
Go ahead.
Go ye therefore into the highways, and as many as ye shall find, bid to the wedding.
Go ahead.
To the marriage. So like, I'll read it again. Matthew 22 and 9. Go ye therefore into the highways, and as many as ye shall find, bid to the marriage. So those servants went out into the highways and gathered together all as many as they found, both bad and good, and the wedding was finished with guests.
Not furnished yet.
Furnished? Oh, so like, read it again. Matthew 22 and 10. So those servants went out into the highways and gathered together all as many as they found, both bad and good, and the wedding was furnished with guests. And then the king came to see the guests. He saw there a man which had not on a wedding garment, and he said unto him, friend, how comest thou in hither, not having a wedding garment? And he was speechless.
He was speechless. Go ahead.
Then said the king to the servants, bind him hand and foot, and take him away, and cast him into utter darkness. There shall be weeping and gashing of teeth, for many are called, but few are chosen.
All right, cut. Now we're gonna start back up at the top, right? I'm gonna let the brother read it again, right? And then I'm gonna break it down, right? All right, go in, bro. You got it.
This is Matthew's chapter 22, verse 1. And Yahawashi answered and spake unto them again by parables, and said, The kingdom of heaven is like unto a certain king, which made a marriage for his son, and sent forth his servant to call them that were bidden to the wedding, and they would not come.
Right. Start at the top again one more time for me. I'm looking at something.
All right. This is Matthew's chapter 22, verse 1. And YAHAWASHI answered and spake unto them again by parables, and said, The kingdom of heaven is like unto a certain king, which made a marriage for his son.
Now, the kingdom of heaven is a people before it's a place. And the kingdom of heaven is talking about the nation of Israel, okay? It's a people before it's a place, okay? The kingdom of heaven is within you, okay? Okay? Go ahead.
And sent forth his servant to call them that were bidden to the wedding.
Yeah. Bidding, okay, means to call somebody, okay? Call somebody in, okay? Go ahead. In the wedding is being married to who the word enemy called Jesus, okay? Which we know his true name in the Hebrew is YAHAWASHI. Go ahead.
And they would not come. Again he sent forth other servants, saying, Tell them which are bidden, Behold, I have prepared my dinner, my ox and my fatlings are killed.
So what that is he was telling them in a parable that the kingdom of heaven, okay, is the people before it's a place, is being set up by him being a sacrifice, okay? That's what that's going into, by YAHAWASHI being a sacrifice. So he's prophesying about him being a sacrifice, okay? Because that's what he was going to become, a sacrifice, okay? Go ahead.
And all things are ready, come into the marriage.
Okay. You said come into the marriage. Go ahead. Be joined to him. Okay. Go ahead.
But they made light of it.
In other words, they neglected what was taking place. Okay. And they was careless about how the kingdom of heaven was set up for them. Okay. Through YAHAWASHI, him being the sacrifice. Go ahead.
And went their ways, one to his farm, another to his merchandise.
See, they make excuses to be joined to the Heavenly Father and His Son, like you got today. Jake make excuses not to come back and do the will of the Heavenly Father and His Son, man. They worried about worldly things, man. Okay, just like you had this Jake come up. What was that? Like 2 weeks ago? And like 2 weeks ago? Yeah, I think that was 2 weeks ago. And you know, we was answering the bun. We was asking him. I was telling him, look, why you ain't been out on the highways and byways? Why you ain't been on the highways and byways? You've been knowing this truth. Oh man, I had to take care of my kids. I had to do this. So that's an example right there. You know, that's what he was saying, man. I had to take care of my kids. I had to do this. I said, look, man, when I first came into this truth, before I came into the truth, I drove around Little Rock for about 2 weeks. Okay, to see. Well, not 2 weeks, not every day, but every weekend. I did it for 2 Saturdays, okay? I went out one Saturday and I was looking, and then I went out the next Saturday and I was looking, okay? So I didn't see nobody out here, okay? And I was telling him, look, what's wrong? And come to find out, he was scared, he was making excuses, okay? And he didn't understand the scriptures. So the scriptures is accurate. Okay, you're gonna have some people that hear this truth, okay, that was called and hear this truth and hear brothers teaching, but they gonna make light of it and make excuses not to come out here and teach Israel so they can be joined to YAHAWASHI. Okay, go ahead.
I'll read it again. Matthew's 22, verse 5. But they made light of it and went their own ways. So like Matthew 22 and 5. But they made light of it and went their ways, one to his farm, another to his merchandise. And the remnant took his servant and entreated them spitefully.
So you got guys that came into this truth and had younger brothers up under them and was treating them wrong, man. Okay? And was treating them wrong, man. Basically, abusing their authority. And then back then, you had some of them kill their own servants, man, who were serving YAHAWASHI. You had leaders set over them who were putting their own servants who were serving YAHAWASHI to death, man. You know, who were serving Yahweh to death. Okay? So you had that back then. Read that again.
All right, Matthew chapter 22, verse 6. And the remnant took his servant and entreated them spitefully and slew them.
Yeah, put them to death, man. The ones that were serving Yahweh, okay, before YAHAWASHI came on the scene, okay? And then there's a future prophecy on top of that, because he prophesied you had Jakes treat other Jakes like that was leaders, and basically killed their spirit, man, caused them to fall out, man. You had that, man. And you got it today. Hey, man, hey, man. All right, go ahead.
But when the king heard thereof, he was wroth, and he sent forth his armies and destroyed those murderers and burned up their city.
All right, he said he was wroth, meaning he was angry. So what that is when the Most High used the Romans to come in 70 AD to lay Jerusalem flat, okay? So the Most High used the Romans, Vespasian and Titus and Tiberius Alexander, which he was a Jake, help the Romans come in and overthrow Jerusalem, okay? So, and then on top of that, another fold is when YAHAWASHI come back with his armies, he gonna put certain men to death for being wicked, man. He gonna put them to death for being wicked. And that's in Luke. Matter of fact, let me get it. Let's link that up. So that's twofold. That's dealing with the Roman armies, and that's also dealing with YAHAWASHI. This Luke 19 and 27. But those are my enemies, which would not that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay them before me. So YAHAWASHI and the armies is gonna come back and put certain men to death for doing the men that's up under them treating them wrong. Hey, YAHAWASHI got them set up to put them to death. That's why YAHAWASHI got them set up to put them to death. That's why when you read about Mark 9 and 1, it said, some of you that's standing here shall not taste of death until you see the kingdom coming. Because of that right there. Luke 9 and 27, man. Okay? Luke 9 and 27. That's because of that right there. Okay? Go ahead.
Verse 8.
Read 7 again.
Okay. Matthew 22, verse 7. But when the king heard thereof, he was wroth.
The king is talking about Yahweh. Okay? That's who that's talking about. Because he's the leader of the nation of Israel, and you got his son, but it's put up on his son now. But he's the supreme power. Okay? So this is YAHAWASHI using the parable, cutting them Pharisees back then. Go ahead.
And he sent forth his armies and destroyed those murderers and burnt up their city.
Yeah, that's what happened to Jerusalem. Jerusalem was burnt up and laid flat, man. 70 AD. Well, really it started like in 66, and it went all the way up to like 73, because you had, during the time of Masada, that place that Herod built in Masada, you had Israelites kill themselves, commit suicide instead of going in slavery up under the Roman Empire. So that was around 73 AD, okay? But Jerusalem was laid flat, okay? Go ahead.
Verse 8. Then said he to his servants.
But it started around 66, somewhere up in there, AD, because of Nero blamed the burning of Rome on Jerusalem, okay? On the Christians, okay? The ones that were following YAHAWASHI, okay? So back then, you being a Christian, that was a buzzword for terrorists, man. Back then, man. Okay? And then you also had disagreements between the Jews and the Greeks, which were Israelites. You had difference, Okay, you had difference between them, and it also started with that too. Okay, and then you had Edomites helping Israelites fight the Edomites, which were Romans, man. Okay, because you had you had Edomites call themselves following the statute, laws, and commandments. Okay, so you had that back then. That's part of their history. Go ahead.
All right, Matthew 22, verse 8. Then said he to his servants, the wedding is ready, but they which were bidden were not worthy.
Yeah, they which were called were not worthy. So the Most High looking at that. YAHAWASHI looking at that. Hey man, you got some jakes out here that's not worthy, man, to be joined to YAHAWASHI. That's just what it is, man. That's just what it is. 2/3, 66.6% of our people gonna be put to death, man. You know, 2/3. Go ahead.
Verse 9. Go ye therefore unto the highways, and as many as ye shall find, bid to the marriage.
So when I first heard this truth, right? When I first heard this truth, it was 2010, okay? February of 2010. That's when I first heard this truth. Because what I was doing was, I was listening to Sergeant Willie P., how he was getting on the nigga woman, okay? How ignorant they are. But I was listening to him because generally, I didn't used to get on the web, man, like that. I didn't start really getting on the web until 2010. Okay, I didn't mess around on the web, man. I was in the world doing too much carnal shit, which I'm not glorifying the internet, but I was getting money, man. I wasn't fucked up by no internet. Okay, I'm just being straight up. I didn't care about no internet, man. I was eating, which I thought I was. But how you truly eat is with this word. But that's carnally. But I'm just painting a picture on what was going on, man, in my life, man. So I was eating, and I wasn't fucking struggling. Shit, bills paid, food in there. Shit, I wasn't going through shit. Okay? And I'm just putting it out there blunt. But I was listening to Sergeant Willie P. about these women, and he said something that got my attention. He said about these Edomites, which these white folk, how they redlined the black community, okay, the Israelite community, which we not black, we different shades of brown. But I'm just saying what he was saying, right? How they redlined the black community, and what it is, which I didn't understand. I didn't know what that was. I didn't know what he was talking about. What that is they don't fix up the so-called black community and they let it fall apart. And also, when people deal with real estate agents, they'll say, hey, they'll tell Edomites to move over here, and they'll tell so-called black people, Israelites, to move over here. So they were redlining, okay? If that community, and it got a lot of Negroes in it, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans in it, what they would do is not fix it up. They would let the streets fall apart, they would just let everything fall apart. Okay, that's what they would do. So that's redlining the community. And as I'm researching that, I run across Great Millstone. If I can remember, it was Elder Zachariah and it was Elder Anap. Okay. And I seen them, and I was looking at the video, right? And they had signs, and they was out there. Just before I clicked it, and made it play. I was looking at the video. I'm like, man, what the hell is they talking about? You know what I'm saying? What they got going? So when I hit it, right? When I hit the video and play, they grabbed scriptures out the Bible, and I was laying on the couch. You know what I'm saying? I'm laying down on the couch. You know what I'm saying? Looking at it, right? And when they was going into the scriptures, the brother said, "Give me this scripture, such." And when he read it, I fell off the couch and grabbed my Bible off the television and said, "Man, that's in there." And once I looked at it, I said, "This it." You know what I'm saying? This it. So as I'm looking at this February 2010. So I'm looking at this, right? I said, this it, man. So I'm locked in. You know what I'm saying? I'm locked in. And plus I had a job to where I'd be off a period of time and to where I would have to go back. So I was off for a period of time. Okay? So I'm locked in, man. I'm watching these videos. I'm talking about a week. I'm watching these videos. I said, man, this it, man.